What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to the channel. So we're jumping right into some Dragon's Dogma, and I want to address some of the feedback that's been going on with this game, because if you head over to Steam right now, it's not looking so good for the game. The game is receiving largely negative reviews. I think there is changed somewhat to mixed reviews. I'll show you that right now. You basically have like some mixed reviews going on now. It was mostly negative a few hours ago, and I'm not exactly sure why it was so negative. Well, let's talk about it. So like so they did release a notification about why inside the Steam forums, basically what they plan on doing to address some of the issues. The game is literally getting review bombed, mostly because of the microtransactions that are available for you to purchase inside the store. So let's take a look at those real quick. So if you go over to the store page, you'll notice that down here inside the microtransaction section, you can basically buy rift crystals, you can buy wake stones, you can buy port crystals, all of these items, right? You essentially can purchase those off the shop. Hey guys, listen, this is a really simple thing. If you don't want to purchase that, you don't have to. So inside Dragon's Dogma, all of these items, wake stones, rift crystals, all of these things you could basically find and purchase for rift crystals, and is largely dependent upon your gathering experience. So those things inside the store, I don't get necessarily the problem that players have with seeing, you know, content that isn't like, I get microtransactions. I'm not a huge fan of microtransactions, and I get, you know, like boxes and, you know, loot boxes and things like that. However, I think the point here is that it's one thing if these were available, not available in the store, and they were really hard to acquire items, then I could understand. But that's not the case. Fextra Life did a video, or he posted a response to this as well, where it basically stated, you know, these items, he's played for hundreds of hours, you don't have to purchase any of these items. They're available inside the store. And if you look at the response from the team as well, they comment here and they say, paid DLC, all of the items below can be obtained in-game or as paid DLC items. And this is pretty much everything. Like, you get rift crystals for just doing anything. Like, I think in the first opening section of the game, you essentially talk to one of the pawns, the Pawn Legion leader, and you get rift crystals just for that. You'll get rift crystals for renting out your pawn. You'll get rift crystals for defeating enemies. Like, all of these items can be obtained again. I remember in Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, I can't remember where you got it, but like the art of metamorphosis, the ability to tailor your character and change them, was basically available for you there, and that was cool. Essentially, you know, like, so I wouldn't be deeply concerned about like these microtransactions. They seem more like as a way for, you know, players who are just lazy, don't really want to do the grind that the game requires for you to get the RC and stuff like that. So just go and purchase those things. And if that's not for you, the game still has those items inside of there. Now, more importantly, though, for what the reviews should be affected by is literally the crashes and the bug fixes and the frame rate dips that they basically have. And these answers that they provide don't really provide us any kind of information. I've seen that a lot of people are blaming the de novo DRM for this, and apparently de novo DRM has a history of this, even in Capcom's other games like Monster Hunter. And they basically removed it from there. Maybe that's the answer, and they need to remove these, because this is a bad look for the game to be having crashes on top of the CPU usage issues. Now, I am playing on a really powerful rig. I am playing on a 4090 ASUS STRIX-E. I've literally got, like, you can see my stuff down inside the comments, the detail section of my videos, but I am playing on a really powerful rig, and even I'm noticing some really big performance dips in certain areas, like where the rendering for trees and people have to be done. not noticeably enough where it's like necessarily pulling me out of the game world. I more so is the jank that I'm dealing with that's really funny, because it's like, you know, the clipping issues and stuff like that that are happening. It's just kind of funny. But they don't give a reasonable timeline for players to know when they're probably going to address these things. The thing that I'm most pissed off about right now is the option of starting a new game. So I want to show you that because that's the last thing inside of here. But essentially, when you join on the game, so you can see here the online store, they probably should have just left this out. Realistically, I get it, you know, you want to get more money, so, you know, fleece them while fleecing's hot. But they probably should have just left this out because it's definitely negatively impacting the reviews for the game. But the worst part right now is that we only have one save file and we don't have the option of starting a new game. So like, I think I was talking about, like, I created a character, but I didn't take the time to really do the character the way I wanted to. So I was like, I'm going to restart the character and I'm going to play that character. Well, the messed up part about that was, as soon as I hopped on, I went into the Dragon's Dogma character creator, created the characters and redid my pawns and everything like this or whatever. And here I am. And now I cannot use those pawns. I can't use those because the game literally has no way for you to actually start a new game. You basically create that one character and that's it. I have no way to delete the game that the character that I have. And the only way, and you notice here as well, this load system is even weird because you have two options inside of here, where it's load from your last save or load from the last end rest. So like the last save could be something that you manually did or that the game auto did, and then the last end rest could be the last time that you actually rested at an inn. It makes no sense to me that this is what they chose to do, because essentially you could be out in the wilderness of the wilds fighting things and everything like that, and you know, you could end up like in a bad position and you could go to like load in from a save and deal with the jankiness of the game and have to go load from the last time that you rested at an inn, making the campfires a system like that and something like that pretty like inconceivable, because I'm gonna want to, you know, rest at the inn now in terms of that. So I think they need to get an option for this as soon as possible. I'm not even sure why, what the thought process here about having only one save file was, because like, for instance, we know that there are 10 vocations in the game, right? I don't want to just play all 10 vocations on one character. I would like, you know, that's like a Final Fantasy kind of thing, but even inside Final Fantasy like 14, I still create separate characters because I want to be able to like experience that character's play style throughout. So like, I want to create a character that is going to be a thief, and I want to create a character that's going to be a brute warrior, and I might choose to change like how that character looks and stuff like that. Like if I'm gonna go build a warrior, then I want to build him like, you know, beefy and brolic. If I build a thief, I might want to build him small and, you know, and you know, linky. I build a mage, I might want to build a different character. And that's the thing, is like, you're limiting the people's ability to like say like, I'm gonna have multiple play runs on these characters because I have multiple save files, and I'm gonna play them, you know, independently of each other. And maybe I even do that because I know that there's certain outcomes and things like that that I don't have, or that can change throughout the game, and we should really just be able to look at that. So I hope they address this one really quickly, because like, I'm playing through as a thief for this one and I want to stay a thief. I don't want to switch the vocation necessarily, and I would like to play like as a wayfarer on a different file, but I don't want to have this issue where I'm essentially just playing the one character and I'm leveling up that. It just doesn't make sense to me. So hopefully they fix that. Hopefully they can recover from these negative reviews, because it's terrible that they did the microtransaction. It feels like the way they did it, it just kind of like, you know, you just slam the players with it, and players didn't have a good understanding of the game and what was available inside the game, so they're reacting right off the rip to just what they're seeing, and that's the microtransactions. And it is negative feedback for negative feedback on that doesn't need to happen. It could have probably been something that could have been introduced maybe, you know, 5 days from now or something like that, to just be like, hey, we're just gonna add these in here. But now players have at least played the game, you know, for a duration of 4 to 10 hours, and they can see that these items are available for them. But let me know what you guys think about the backlash in the comment section below, and when these fixes are going to come. If you probably got legitimate gripes if you're complaining about, you know, the load, the save file system, because it is pretty terrible. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, peace.